Now, before I can just willy-nilly merge a bunch of workbooks together, there are actually two things that you have to do before you can use this feature or for the feature to work. In other words, you can't just have one workbook with a layout and then go, I'll pick another workbook that John sent to me the other day with an entirely different layout and try to merge them together. Excel's going to have a fit. In other words, Excel's going to have a pattern, and here's how we're going to set the pattern. There are two things that you have to do in order to use the Merge Workbook feature. First of all, is you have your original workbook, and I titled mine my Merge Original, and you have to turn on the shared feature. And how do you do that? Well, you can watch my training video on sharing your workbooks, but as a quick review, come up here, click on the Review tab, go to the Changes group, click on Share Workbook, and check the box. Once you check it, click OK, turns it on. Once it's in shared mode, the second thing that you have to do is make copies of it. So when you go ahead and you make a copy of it, let's say I've got my original here and I want to make a copy of it, one for human resources, for accounting, all these departments. After I make copies, I'll go ahead and give it to those departments. They can go ahead, come in here, make changes to the data, not the layout. In other words, let's click and drag and move that over here and move things around. Then, well, you can imagine if I got my original that looks like this, and they have a copy of it and they messed it up, and try to merge that together, Excel's going to have a fit. Again, just tell them to only make changes to the data. So once I have the shared feature turned on, I can go ahead and save copies of this to hand out to everybody else or put on the network so the departments can reach their copy of it. Come up here, click on the File tab, go down to Save As, and let's do one for HR, hit Enter. Let's do another Save As, let's do 2 for Accounting, hit Enter. And I'm just going down the list, but you get the idea. Go ahead and make as many copies as you would like of the original. So now, let me go ahead and hit Control W, which is the shortcut key for closing out of the inner window of the program without closing out of the program. So we close the workbook. Minimize that down to the taskbar. Let me open up the exercises folder. Because in here, I've got my Merge Original, and I have the two copies of the original. So I send these off, put them on the network. HR comes in here, opens it up, and goes, okay, Human Resources. Max Klinger is not in Human Resources, he's in Accounting. So he types, well, the first letter. Excel picks up on patterns below and says, I bet it's Accounting. If you're okay with that, hit the Tab key and you don't have to finish typing in the word Accounting. When I'm finished, go ahead and be sure to save my work. Then close out. Let's open up and pretend that we're now the Accounting department. So we open this up and we go, okay, well, Homer Simpson is no longer at this extension. Let's say his extension is 2600. Be sure to save my work, then close out. Now when I'm finished, or they're finished, making all their changes, let me go back to the exercises folder. I'll open up my original, and I'll say, okay, now's the time to merge them all into one. That way I don't have to open up each one and flip back and forth between the two to find the changes. I can merge them into one and have them automatically update those changes within my original. To do that, I have to come up here and customize the Quick Access toolbar by adding the Copy and Merge Workbook button to the toolbar. So let me right-click, go down to Customize, click from Popular Commands to All Commands, and scroll down to the C's. And there it is, Compare and Merge Workbooks. Double-click on that. Go ahead and click OK. It's up here. When I'm ready, click on the button. It opens up, says, okay, what other workbooks do you want to select and merge into this original? Well, it's this one. Select the first one, hold down the Control key, and select any additional ones. When I'm done, let go of the Control key, click Okie dokie, and it made the changes. So Max Klinger is not in HR, he's in Accounting, and Homer Simpson, I think it was 2650 something. In any case, it updated and changed it to 2600 as his new extension. That's great. Now I don't have to worry about opening up each individual workbook and copying and pasting and going back and forth. In addition to that, it happens so fast if I didn't know what they changed. As you recall in the shared workbook training video, you can come back up here on the Review tab, go to the Changes group to track your changes. You can either highlight them, or if you want to not highlight them, but you want to go right to accept or reject them. Once you accept or reject them, they don't come back. In other words, it's a permanent thing. So, which changes do I want to review? Those that haven't been reviewed, click Okie dokie, and then it'll take me right to it. I made some additional changes when we weren't looking. I deleted row 5. Do you want to delete row 5? I can go ahead and say I'll accept that. And there was other changes. I deleted a couple rows actually because we had double copies of Homer Simpson. So there's a surprise for you that you wouldn't have figured out by watching me in case if somebody else got a hold of that workbook and made changes. In any case, it's all right in front of you. Now here are the changes that you see me do is changes in cell C2 went from human resources to accounting. Is that okay? I'll reject it. What about from there it is 2655 to 2600? I'll accept it. That's it. If I try to do it again, to accept or reject changes, remember it's a one-time thing. Even if I put an earlier date in here and say, well, let me go back a couple of days to yesterday and click OK, forget it. It's a one-time thing. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for only $2 a month, you get online access to all my training. Or for downloads and DVDs, please visit me at dreamforce.us.